They said we're alive now.
That's what they
What's going
said.
on, man? Tonight,
What's up,
man.
man?
Like this dude, he grew up not too far from me, man. Our parents, man, was always close friends. Um, we just talking backstage, man. He just told me that already he will graduate in 20 years. He's the last class of the Bulldogs before we transition to Cougars. And
Hmm.
tonight, man, we have one of the fastest men to ever come out of the Low Country, man, Mister Nathan Breland, man. So I appreciate you tonight. Taking a moment, man, to come share your story with us. Like I said, I've known you for years, but I'm pretty sure tonight I'm gonna
Yeah.
find out some new detailed information. So that makes me excited. Yeah,
Oh
man.
man,
So
man,
yeah,
man.
man. So like now that we got the intro out of the way, man. All right, like last year, last year, Walterboro High School. What
Yep.
was that? What was your senior year like? Because saying what was that like, knowing that you were the last class of the Bulldogs?
Man, it was well. First of all, man, before I even jump in, man, I appreciate you, man. Let my platform be a part of yours, man. It's been a long time coming, but we here, we're
Yeah,
doing it, man. Uh man, it was iconic, man. We were like, wow, okay, so we're the last of everything,
hmm
last person to wear this jersey, last person to run on this potential track, last person to represent this title on your chest. But then it hurt too, man, because that was, growing up as a kid in that city, Friday nights, we would talk about it backstage. Friday nights was just,
yeah,
if you run a Bulldog, you was at this, at whatever arena, whether it be the
yeah,
basketball games where you if you didn't get there early and get a ticket or a seat, you in the
yeah,
sides, everybody came out to support, man, and
yeah.
I really think it changed that community so much, taking that name away. And it, for me, I had a sense of pride, man. I'm like, wow, I'm the last
Mhm.
class like that. Nobody's ever going to be able to wear this Letterman jacket, man. If I could pull it
Yeah.
out, like the leather's already, the leather's about gone, but the it's in shambles. But man, you never realize how important you were until it's not there anymore. And
hmm
when I tell people what high school I graduated from, they're like, "Where?" Like when I filled out job applications, I put Walterboro High School, and they're like, "That school doesn't exist. It's Colleton County, right?" And I'm like, "No, it's Walterboro High School. It's just it's just not there anymore, but it's still Walterboro. Trust. No, I did not
Yeah.
graduate from Colleton County. No, that wasn't me. I was in the county, but not of the county. I was of the
Yeah.
Bulldogs. Let's be
For
clear.
sure.
So
Yeah.
it definitely was a great feat to do all. I think I did my senior year. I didn't do football. I was just a normal kid at that point. As far as well, no, I can't even say normal because I was still doing track, but I was able to do band from the middle school all the way through high school, and then march with the band, and then I was able to play football at least 1 year to be able to get that experience and say I was a Bulldog on the football field. And then
Yeah.
track was just always in full effect, so that was always my staple. I could always rely on the track season to show up and show out and represent Walterboro everywhere we went. So when it was over, it was over. I was like, man, they're gonna change this name and it's not gonna be the same. But it's cool to sometimes go back home and walk through and really see what was and
Mhm.
what is now. So yeah, man.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah, man. Yeah. That now like what the old stadium was, it's just green grass out there. So
Yeah,
I
grassy
understand.
knoll out there now. Just like,
Yeah,
man, it's
that's it.
crazy. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
So I understand. I didn't know you was in the band. What instrument did you play?
I was on drumline, man. It's always about the
Oh.
drumline. Always about the drumline. You can't. I couldn't see myself blowing an instrument or doing anything else. Like I ain't got the lungs for that. But I definitely I could hit on something. My mama used to. I was always beating on something. She's like, "Boy, you gonna have to get him a drum." And so I got
Yeah.
a drum, and then she didn't want me to practice in the house at that point. So I was like, "I'm gonna get better. You don't want me to?" I was always making on something. So,
Yeah.
Mr. Finnegan and Mr. Bill Young, they both, man, they put it to us, man. We were sharp. And
Yeah.
that was a legacy in itself, man. To
Yeah.
to be a part of that legacy of 9-time running state champions, the Band of Blue, like everybody. Now that I live in the upstate of South Carolina, I mean, you still mention that gives people shudders, man. And the one place I mention it all the time is over in Spartanburg County at Burns. I always talk to them because why not? Make them
Yeah,
upset.
yeah.
I'll go where I was coaching one year and I said, hey, I'm from Walterboro. And they were like, really? I said, yeah. I marched on the Walterboro, band of blue. Oh, get that effect every time. Oh, yeah, I was one of those guys. I said, yeah, 9-time state champion. Yeah, we know. You could take a guy out the low country, but you can't take the low country out of him. We talk trash. That's
Indeed,
what we did. That's what
indeed,
we
it's
do.
in us.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's it. So
yeah. So did you take that trip? Because I know one year, I don't know what year it was. I know y'all did like the Rose Bowl parade or something like Rose Parade. Did
no,
you do the one in New? Was that? Didn't y'all do something in New York too?
they went to Thanksgiving. That was the year I actually transitioned into football. Macy's Day
Yeah,
Thanksgiving
yeah,
parade. They went.
yeah.
So they went to
Okay,
the Rose Bowl, and they do Macy's. It seems like all the time.
yeah,
But yeah, they did some major trips, man. They
yeah.
sold a lot of fruit. I remember buying it and selling it and all kinds of stuff. They know how to fundraise. I remember what was his name? Mr. Mays. Mr. Mays would drive us all over the place in those shuttle buses. Boy, you better sell that fruit. Sell fruit.
Yo, I laugh because we have boxes by boxes at the.
Yes. Yes. If you didn't have
Dog,
your
it was like
orange
every
juice,
other day somebody was dropping off a box of fruit. Like, what are we
that's
supposed
it.
to do with this? You
That's
know?
it. Navel
Man.
oranges and your apples you had it all. You better get this box of fruit. You're gonna support the band of blue. Yes, you
Oh, we
are.
had no choice. Yeah, we was all in. We was all
That's
in. So whenever they bought them box of fruit, we ain't had no more Swiss rolls for snacks. All the good snacks out the window. The only thing we
um,
had was the fruit to eat in that house.
that's it. Better crack you open one
Yeah,
of them oranges and go to work. That's
that's
it.
it.
Remember
Yeah,
that.
man, the good old days, man. I wonder if they still do that. I did. I need to go
They
buy
still
a
do.
box.
I
Okay.
know, right? Yeah, they still do. I think they were fundraising for. I think they just got some new uniforms. I saw Mr. Finnegan's page. They got some new uniforms, and I think they fundraised for with the fruit. So, yeah, man.
That's
Yeah,
amazing. They still selling. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
that's right. Hey, keep it rolling.
Yeah,
Keep it
yeah.
rolling. Ain't
40
nothing
years
wrong with it.
strong.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
if they
pretty
would have had
cool, man.
Bojangles to support them, because Mr. Finnegan always had that Bojangles going. So
Oh,
if Bojangles was in, I don't know if they had one in Walterboro, but if they had Bojangles in Walterboro as a sponsor, they'd be off the charts. I don't know if they do. I don't think they have a Bojangles, but
I,
it's been a
I
while since I've
think
been there.
no, is it a Popeyes? What they have here? They
It's
got
a
like a new
Popeye.
chicken.
I think it's
Yeah,
Popeye.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bojangles out of New Orleans. Nah, they ain't got that here.
Mhm.
Nah, they cool with Popeyes.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. That's
the
crazy.
second best. Yeah,
Yes,
man.
by far. By far. Yep,
Yeah.
by far.
So yeah.
That's funny.
So you the last of the Bulldogs. So
Yeah.
I know you say you did track. That was like a staple. That's what you were
Oh
really
yeah.
known for, man. Like you said, you
Oh
you
yeah.
can move, man. I'm telling you, man. Like I was a fan since day one. So after high school,
Mhm.
like what did you transit? Like how did like scholarships? Like what did you do
Mhm.
coming out of high school?
Well, shout out to my mom. I want to take a second, man, and shout out my mom because without her, I would have never gotten into track. She was my first coach, and she was out there with a book. She didn't know. We watched stuff on TV, and she learned from that. And then she stood out there and said, "Hey, they say you're supposed to do this, this, and this, and now go do it." And
Yeah.
she couldn't really do it herself, but she was my first coach. So shout out to my mom. But after high school, I had to think, gotten recruited by some major D1 schools and,
Mhm.
had been to their camps, been to their campuses, and really put my talent on display for them to see. And, mom told me, she said, "Hey, I'm going to be honest with you. You can go to those big schools and you can, get the big names on your chest, but the ultimate goal is graduation, getting done."
Mhm.
And so you can go to those big schools. Those schools are party schools. University of Miami, Florida State, big name schools. I was
Yeah.
thinking about going to Winthrop. All the schools were hitting me up, and but slowly everything they just started disappearing. Like, no, I'm not going there,
Mhm.
not going there, not going there. So the point where I was like, oh man, like where am I gonna go?
Yeah.
South Carolina State put their bid in there, and I was like, man, I don't really, no, I won't go there either. So
Yeah.
ultimately, I landed at Charleston Southern, and I had no one really knew, but on weekends there was a running group there. Shout out to the Bell and Slough running group. Those guys took me under their wing when I was about 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old. Every year I would go to their program to meet athletes. I met John Drummond. I met Jim Ryan, who was the first person to run under 4 minutes in the mile. Iconic legends they were bringing in. So I got to meet some really influential people in my life, and they said, well, come visit us every Saturday, come work out with us. So I was working out with grown men, but they were
Mm-hmm.
instilling so much into me while on Charleston Southern's campus. And I was like, man, it's a nice school, but I never thought I'd end up there. But I always
Mm-hmm.
spent a lot of time there, so I was familiar. And so when I got the call, hey, we want you to come to Charleston Southern, I was like, okay, I'll do that. I showed up. I didn't have my room wasn't set up. My scholarship stuff wasn't done. I didn't have a book. I didn't know what classes I was taking, but I was there,
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, I'm Nate Breland, and I don't know where I'm supposed to be, but that's I'm gonna figure something out. And
Mm-hmm.
so they did. They figured everything out for me, and I was able to really just take my skill set to the next level there. And Charleston Southern has really been was really good to me. 4 years of D1 running. I was a 9-time Big South champion, 60, 200, 100, 4x1, 4x4. Uh, Qualified for NCAA Nationals in 2006. Went out to California, represented the school, and qualified for USA Nationals to almost go to the Beijing Olympics. The body got
Yeah.
tired, and I knew it. I had been running since I was 8 years old. Every day in, day out, summer in, summer out, running, doing something. But when the body said enough, I knew it was enough.
Mm-hmm.
But that really highlighted my life, man. Just being able to represent uh, Charleston Southern, my family, my community, and we went some major places, New York, Louisiana. We ran on some big stages, and I was able to really, people still know who I am. There's records out there that still stand. Some of them don't, but
Yeah.
that's okay. Records are made to be broken, right?
Yeah,
So
for sure.
it was a really awesome time of my life to be able to really just put it all out there, man. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. So how many records did you break? I mean, total.
Oh man, the indoor 200 record, the outdoor 200 record. I set that at a conference meet over in Conway at Coastal. I set the 100-meter record at Winthrop to qualify for East Regionals, and then ultimately go to nationals. And then I was part of relays. We had one relay was a 4x2 relay that we ran. I'm sorry, 4x1 relay. We ran a pretty fast time. We run. I mean, when we were a small school, and a
Yeah.
lot of our guys that were on our team were big fish in small ponds. You put a lot of big fish in a small pond together and tell them, "Hey, get along." Well, we did
Yeah.
just that. So we would go to schools and we would run against big dogs. We ran against when Jeremy Warner was an Olympian. We ran against Walter Dix out of Florida State. I mean, we just ran against some major people, but we were
Yeah.
never scared. We had that mentality like any given day we're gonna line up. It's not gonna
Yeah.
be any issue with us lining up with whoever wants to get on the line. Let's get it on. Just like how we were in high school. We ain't scared of
Yeah.
nobody. Let's go.
Yeah.
Because any given day,
Yeah.
especially in the relays, your the object is to get the baton around the track the fastest without dropping
Yeah.
it. And we were like, hey, we just had this mentality that we can beat you. We're gonna
Yeah.
line up next to you. We're gonna beat you.
Yeah.
So definitely was a big man. Just I think the biggest piece that I took away from being a college athlete was how to take that winning competitive spirit and apply it to life outside of athletics. And
Gotcha.
when I tell people, they're like, man, why are you so driven to win? Why are you so driven, when you become a part of a team? I said, because I've been a part of a team and I've seen it come from nothing, where we don't have a clue who's going to run what leg, who's going to do this, who's going to do that. And then to the promotional moment, man, we got, first place this, first place that, first place this, new record, just each meet getting better. And then with the team in a workplace, in a work cell, hitting a goal, setting a goal, getting another one. One plant I worked in, we were packing parts, and we were like, hey man, this month we're gonna hit this, and we would hit it because there were so many people that just believed in the goal because they believed in the leadership, but they also just saw it. Hey, I don't like to lose. So if you like to lose, the door's over there. You can leave. But if you want to
Yeah.
win, come on, let's get this work and let's get it done. So a lot of lessons out of just being, humble and taking it all in and then saying, well, I'm not really going to be an athlete anymore, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna run this race called life, and it's really translated really well. So
Gotcha.
I really
So, man, just going through everything you just said, man. So I know you said when you was running since you was 8 years old,
mm,
like I said, doing a lot of great things, chance for the Olympics. And I know you said your body get tired. Like what happened? Like was it an injury, I'm assuming,
yep.
that maybe kind of, stopped some things?
Yeah, well, I knew my body was starting to give way when I went to a meet and they actually had to wrap my body, and I basically had a full my body went into shock, for lack of better terms. I had The trainer flat out said, you have run outside of the means of your body to where I have put my body into shock. So lactic acid had built so much to where I had never run as fast as I did, and
Yeah,
my body was like, wait a minute, stop, hold up, bro, we gotta recuperate here.
yeah,
And the way to recuperate is, we just gonna fail on you, and you just gonna have to deal with
yeah,
it. I was literally laying on the ground, wrapped in ice. My trainers came there, wrapped both of my legs, they wrapped my arms, they wrapped my. I was messed up. It was
yeah,
bad. It was bad. It was the first time I'd really gone sub 10, and
yeah,
my body just was like, whoa, like, what are you doing? And
yeah,
in my mind, I'm like, I'm great. This is awesome. And my
yeah,
body was like, nah, bro, nah,
yeah,
And see, I was hard headed too. So I didn't, I didn't like lifting weights. I never was a big weightlifting guy. Coach Riley was big on weightlifting, and I did that. But when it came to track season, Walterboro, they didn't really push a lot of
mhm,
weightlifting. So I was cool with that. So when I got to college, and it was like, oh, you got weightlifting at 6 a.m. and you got did. I was like, weightlifting at 6 a.m. All right. When you turn your back, I'm gonna skip them reps. So didn't
yeah,
understand the relationship, didn't
yeah,
understand the assignment at all, like why this was important.
mhm,
So, finally coach knocked me upside the head. He was like, listen, kid, if you don't lift weights, you're gonna kill yourself because what we're asking you to do, you gotta be strong. And
mhm,
so the first few times I started lifting, man, I got on track and wham, times dropping, boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, wow. But your body can only sustain that for so long. You know,
mhm,
and I'm not saying that we didn't have the best trainers in the world, but Olympic athletes, they get top doctors, so when you tear something, they can fix it, or they, you
mhm,
have a hurt here or hurt there, they can fix it. But after a while, even that doesn't work anymore. So
mhm,
a hamstring, I went out to nationals, and I mean, this was back when a guy named Kelly Willie was running for LSU, and he was top. I mean, just killing the game in the 200, and that's what I went for. And it was on TV, and I was overwhelmed, and I'd flown out to California, and I was just tired. I
yeah,
remember starting that race and just standing there and just yawning, like, man, I'm just exhausted. And I thought, and I looked up into the crowd, and there's cameras everywhere, and there's people everywhere, and everybody's screaming, like, woo. And I was like, I'm not
yeah,
here right now. Like, this is
wow,
amazing. This is an out of body experience. But I had done it for so long to where I just was like, okay, I'm tired. And I think my body
mhm,
knew it too. So I didn't run really well. I think I finished 16th. And that year, the time sorry, the times that I ran that year, I was ranked six in the world. And I didn't even realize that. My coach was like, "Hey, look at this world ranking. Look where you are in the world." And I was like, "Wow, I'm number 6 in the world. Like
yeah,
what?"
yeah,
But I felt like I told him, I was like, "Coach, I'm tired." And he's like, "All right, well, we're gonna rest a couple of days. We don't have to go to this meet. We can just rest you." And I remember walking back to my dorm, and it was the longest walk ever. It seemed like it took me longer to take that walk back to the dorm that day than ever before. But I knew, I said, man, my body, I'm done.
yeah,
And I was like, coach, well, the next day I was like, coach, mm-mm. I'm done.
Yeah.
I couldn't even get through the workouts. It was just hurting. It's like, oh, go to rehab. Everything is go fix. Go ice it. Go put some ice on it. And I was like, ice ain't
Yeah.
gonna fix this. Because the passion was gone. And
Yeah.
not saying that I don't love. I love everything there is track and field. You can talk. I can talk like people talk stats on basketball. I talk to you all day about track. But
Yeah.
to physically go and do it, I the mental capacity has to be there, and it wasn't anymore. And I said, okay,
Yeah. Gotcha. That's
yeah,
good that you didn't you saw, yes, you saw the, you seen there's a stopping point. You're looking like, no, this is my exit.
yeah,
Let me go ahead and exit here without continue to, like I said, push your body to new limits that you just didn't know how it would respond. And so,
right.
was there like, how was that transition mentally for you? Was this like you came to like peace with it, like, yo, it is what it is, or you had like moments where like you were like you just had moments you really had to like, what I'm saying, really like put your heels in the ground and make yourself get better like daily, what I'm saying, on a daily thing.
What I'm about to share with you is crazy, man, because it was devastating.
Mm,
It's devastating. You know, and wow, you just took me back, man.
yeah.
I was as an athlete, as a college athlete, you live a certain lifestyle, right? So,
Hmm.
everybody knows you. There's not one place on the campus that you can go, one place that in your realm of your sport that people don't know who you are. Um, I tried to be low key, but obviously that didn't work for
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
because that wasn't me. I was Nate Breland and everybody knew who I was. I would try to, we get to meets and I would duck off and go do my own thing, do my own stretch, my own. I just had to get my hair right because I knew it was such a mental thing that I was so focused on getting the little itty bitty things right and not
Hmm.
really enjoying the moments. But when all that was gone, Jordan, I didn't know what to do with myself. I'm like, now
Wow.
so I'm not a superstar no more. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, um, hmm. Okay, so I'm supposed to go get a job now. Hmm. I ain't worked. I ain't. I mean, I'd worked jobs throughout the college career, but no, I got to really really work a job now. Like I got
Yeah.
an adult now. Hmm. That's not working for me. So I didn't know what to do. You know, being transparent, I had a lot of female friends.
Yeah.
He's not a superstar anymore. He's a has been. And I wasn't dating all these people. It was just I had a mutual friendship, but all these people started disappearing.
Wow.
And it
Damn.
it rocked me because I'm like, but I'm Nate,
Yeah.
10-2 Nate, Hall of Fame Nate. Nate picture on the wall. Didn't matter. Go on the campus. Oh hey, I was shocked. I was like, oh, so this is what they're doing? Like, I was like, man, but I was just like 3 years ago, you was all on me. But now,
Yeah.
like the song say, now I'm hot, y'all. Now I'm not nobody, ain't nobody paying me no attention. And I'm
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
it definitely changed my perspective because I was like, oh, okay. So now that I'm not hot, now that I'm not, you know, famous,
Yeah.
what do I do?
Wow.
How do I move on in life? And so it took a while to grow up because as a college athlete, everything's laid at your feet.
Yeah.
Shoes, clothes, uniforms, access. You ain't want for nothing. Now the dark side of that, obviously, as a college athlete, you don't eat in the cafeteria. So sometimes you went a little hungry. But
Hmm.
coach, he'll cook you up something or whatever. But I had to learn how to be normal. And normal didn't work
Wow.
for me. I had been put in lights for so long, that in my career had been spanning from 8 to 20, 22, 23 years old, and now I got to go be an adult. That stuff's over with now.
Wow.
Rough, because
Yeah.
nobody prepares you for the downside of after athletics. Look all these NFL players, you don't see nothing from them now. all these, they when they walk, they hobble, they hurt, they go.
Mm-hmm.
No one prepares you for the exit, how
Mm-hmm.
that's supposed to look. You get prepared for, the now and day to day, and a little bit before, but and really not a lot of the before. Because if I knew what I knew about college, and if these kids know
Mm-hmm.
what I found out, their decisions would be a lot different. But that's another story. But no one prepared me for the exit, so I wasn't prepared. And not at the fault of my parents, nobody. It was all me. I
Yeah.
didn't realize I had to go and make life decisions now. I have to figure out where I'm going to live because campus living was over. I ain't a
Mm-hmm.
student no more. How I'm gonna get back and forth, how I'm gonna get gas in the car, food in my belly, how I'm gonna do all that. So it was a definite transition that humbled me very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
There was a time, and because we being honest, it was a time I think I went 5, 6 days, no power in my apartment. Couldn't afford it.
Wow.
Couldn't afford it. Had no idea how I was gonna pay to have power. It was either pay the rent or have power. And I was like, I gotta have the roof, but I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
figure out how I'm gonna get this, how I'm gonna get this power back on. Man, I'll be completely honest. Next door neighbor was like, hey, listen, we done had our power off before. Let me show you what we did. So we went, he showed me, hey, hit that switch, boom, your power back on. I was like, yo, that's stealing power. He was like, you want to be dark or you want to have in hot water or you want to be in the dark? And I was like, whoa, I'm stealing power. Like, what in the world? I was like, my mama would kill me. But you I was in survival mode.
Yeah.
I was in survival mode. I was like, I don't know how to do this right now.
Yeah.
You know,
Jeez.
living in an apartment post college, my roommate, me and AJ, the apartment that we lived in used to be his mom's. His mom moved out to let us have the apartment. And so it was, AJ, his girlfriend at the time, my girlfriend at the time, we trying to make it work,
Yeah.
but we didn't have enough income. So eventually, you know, okay, AJ moves out because he can't afford it. I'm like, I got it. I
Yeah.
didn't have it. Didn't have it. So I'm sitting in the dark, looking crazy. Like, man, this would have, I'm sitting there like, this would have never happened in Walterboro. And my parents
Yeah.
wanted me to come home. I'm sure they wanted me to come home, but they did not help because of me having to learn how to get it going.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I called and hey mom, but I was so prideful. I don't even remember if I asked.
Yeah.
I think I just let it. I think I just let it go. Like, hey, uh, I got it. Everything's good, mom. Everything's okay. Having to plug my phone up in the hallway and let it charge outside the apartment because I don't have no
Yeah.
power in the apartment to charge my phone. But calling home like everything's good.
Mm.
Lying, going to campus to eat because my girlfriend still at the time was still a college athlete. So I'm like, hey, slide me in the back door. Come around and open the back door and we sneak in and get something to eat. Like survival mode, like at its
Yeah.
final. I was like, man, I got to get my life together. It's
Yeah.
crazy, but
Jeez.
humbling stuff, man. Stuff that people
Yeah.
do not know. That, like, trust
Yeah.
me, my roommate probably is like, if he is watching, probably like, why is he telling our business? But yeah, man, real deal,
Yeah.
man, real deal. I
Wow,
remember one
boy.
night living in an apartment, man. I was out crazy. So I had gotten a car from my dad, 97 Nissan Altima, paid for it, no bill, no nothing. And this is when I felt like I had it. I was working me a little job, had a little money, but I had a severe drinking issue. I was a drinker, bro, because that's how I used to cope. Because track was over. I wanted that feeling. It's like I never used drugs. First person, I would promise everybody that's watching this gonna watch the replay. I have never
Yeah.
used illegal drugs ever. But to get that high, that feeling that I
Yeah.
got from track, I was like, hey, I'm gonna start drinking. So I would drink,
Wow.
and I would drink heavy. I'm talking about gallons. I drink a gallon and then go party all night too.
God almighty.
on everything,
Ooh-wee.
getting it in,
Yeah, yes, you were. You were.
functioning. But I was
Yeah.
a functioning. I know for a fact I
You
was
know
a
how to
functioning
function.
alcoholic because I would drink and I would sleep it off and I go and I would work all day like nothing ever happened. I would go, downtown party, drink, drink, drink. Man, I blow $200 in one night. Wouldn't even know. One night I remember specifically that same night, I drank a gallon. I think it was like Grey Goose. Just downed it and went and drove. Ran over a spare tire in the road and just tore my car to pieces. Man, don't you know it took me 6 months to tell my daddy? I wouldn't tell him. He's like, "Why you don't come home?" "Oh, I'm working." Car was tore up. Couldn't go nowhere. Put the oil
Yeah.
pan, exhaust, all that stuff was gone. Got it
Jeez.
back into the apartment complex and parked it. And my father never understood why. He's like, "What? Well, you got a car? You don't come home?" Mm-mm. Afraid to tell him. So he pulls up on me. Car got spider webs hanging from underneath the bottom of the car to the ground. That's how he knew something was up. Told on him. Because I was like, "Yeah, the car right there, Dad. Car right there." He didn't know. He didn't know what was going on with the car. He was like,
Yeah.
uh, "Man, what's going on? Why you not driving?" I just was like, I just catch a ride with my roommate. And he was
Yeah.
like, "Crank up your car." Oh man. Before I even went in, I said, "Daddy, I ain't gonna do it. The car's messed up."
Yeah.
So he got up underneath it, he looked, he said, "Boy, what you do?" And I told him, and boy, he said, "Now you gonna it's gonna sit here another 6 months because you're gonna fix it." I was like, "Oh my God, that was not what I wanted to
Yeah.
hear." But it was again another part of my life. I'm transitioning out of being a college student. Now I'm having to be an adult. And I'm learning
Yeah.
hard and fast that this is not the life. I'm not gonna make it like this. Yeah, I'm
Mm.
not gonna make it. And so I finally just said, okay, gotta put the drinking down. I gotta get focused, I gotta get a job, I gotta be a real adult and do adult things. And so I did. I finally transitioned. Um, but still that function alcohol is still kicked in every now and again. And it took me a while to get past that too. I didn't understand why I wasn't famous anymore. I didn't understand why I couldn't feel that same high about myself. So it started becoming a self-image issue. You know, what's wrong with me?
Mm.
Why people don't like me no more? Because they liked me when I was running, but then I was like, do they not like me as a person? Like, is it me now? Or did they only like me because I was famous? And see, so a lot of kids, when I watch today, I see people and they think, man, this is, you see all this glitz and the glamour, man. But, you know, just the most recent individual that died, the lady that jumped from in New York, like she had it all.
Mm.
The life anybody would want to have, like had it all, but you know, she committed suicide. And my girlfriend at the time, she saw me try to take myself out. I tried to kill myself. The pressure was that great that I felt like I don't want to do this no more.
Yeah.
I'm like, man,
Dang.
if I can't have that high, if I can't achieve this feeling, because I
Yeah.
didn't realize, I didn't know how to channel all that stuff. I just was like, man, I can never get this same high again. But I don't like me. People don't like me. I don't have friends. I'm taking myself out. I remember I'll never forget, it was a single barrel shotgun. And I had been drinking and I had said, you know what? This is it. And I went in the closet and I was trying to figure out how to finagle it to take myself
Yeah.
out. And it was, I was like, man, got nothing else to live for. Nobody else
Yeah.
likes me now. And, that that moment was a turning point
Yeah.
because my girlfriend, she was still at CSU and she was like, you need to come to the concert, right? And I was like, I ain't trying to do no concert. I ain't trying to do nothing. I'm trying to just, because I tore up the house. Like, I mean, it was bad. It was real bad. and it was a gospel concert. And I had been in that same choir, but I had been removed, obviously, from school, so
Yeah.
I wasn't part of the choir anymore. But that was my first transition in here a little bit. But that was my first real experience, one-on-one, knowing that God was real. So she and I was sitting about 8 rows back from the stage. The concert's popping. Everybody's. It's going really well. And they do an altar call. Every concert gospel they're gonna do an altar call. Now you're gonna come on to Jesus now. And I'm sitting there like, man, I ain't feeling that. I don't. Whatever. But I remember. I know now what it was, but I didn't know then. Feeling like just out of body experience. That's what I explained it to her. I was like, man, I feel like I'm outside of my body. And she's like, what are you talking about? I was like, I just feel different. And altar call still going on. And I remember having my hands raised, and somehow I ended up in the aisle, and I was standing there. I remember the music playing. I remember where I was, everybody in their positions. And I remember that it was just us on that row. So there was no one within 5 feet of me. Mm-hmm. But I remember feeling a hand push me. Like, hey, go up there.
Yeah.
And I remember looking back like, there is no one. So I'm like, wait a minute now. Somebody just pushed me. But I went, and, I didn't talk about it till later that night, but I was like, gave my life to God, Christ. I was like, I don't want to live like this no more. And I remember this lady, we were walking out. She said, you're a blessed individual. She said, from this day forward, she said, as soon as you walk out this door, the enemy is going to try to come and invade your life and stop you from being great. She said, the moment you break this door, and I'm like, man, that lady talking witchcraft. I don't know what you're talking about, lady. But don't you know that's exactly what happened? Wow. As soon as I crossed out the auditorium, something happened right there. And I was just like, wow, that's crazy. How did that lady know? But she was gone. I didn't know who she was, never knew her name, nothing. And later that night, I said, hey, I said, man, did you push me? She was like, what you mean? She said, I was sitting down. She said, I saw you over there worshiping. I said, but did you push me? And she was like, nope. She's like, I'm pretty sure you were worshiping and you just had an experience with the Holy Spirit. And I'm like, all right. I ain't believe it. So I went to sleep. And when I went to sleep, I was like, it was the best night of my life. I slept so well because I give my life to Christ. Everything is wonderful. And I woke up the next morning. I was like, yo, you had to push me. Like, wait a minute. Like, I was standing there and you were on the same row. You had to push me. Don't you remember that? I'm trying to convince her because I'm not fully in full belief. She said, I just got that thing last night. So I'm trying to keep the salvation. So I don't really understand. Like, hold on now. Like, you didn't push me? She's like, no. And I said, okay. And that's when I started digging. I was like, man, how does this work? How I had an encounter right then and there, man. And from that day forth, man, I've toiled with my life, and my life has been, other people, a lot of folks don't even know this stuff, and I've had a blessed life. I was adopted. Most people don't even know that about me. My mom and Claude and Bernice, they adopted me when I was a baby. I'm not true Breland, but don't mess with the Brelands now. Don't think.
Yeah.
You not be in the blood, but I'm there. Okay. But I lived a really great life. They gave me an amazing life. They laid it out for me, and working my way back to being a big success, or what we deem in this world as a success, or a good black man, or whatever you want to title it as. It's been a road to where now I can look at myself and I don't have to have those exterior highs because I'm so excited about me that there's there's very little that you can do to me that's gonna put me in that dark gray place.
Wow.
Small things used to put me in that space.
Yeah.
You know, I don't really fret about, what's gonna happen tomorrow because I'm so in the moment. And I tell people all the time when they get, oh man, it's not, but you in this moment right now. Because if you're so worried about what's gonna happen tomorrow, you're gonna miss what's happening right now. And it might be that one thing, that decision that you miss in that moment,
Yeah.
that doesn't promise you tomorrow, which we're not promised it anyway, but staying in the moment, just that one extra second, you get to enjoy life a little bit further than what you probably would have expected to. So, man, it's like I said, man, my life has been interesting, but it's been a road that I don't wish on anybody else, because I'm not sure anybody else would be strong enough. But it taught me that I was strong enough. It taught me that I was enough to go through what I was going to go through. But it also showed me that, hey, if you do not follow this process and enjoy this process, painful or not, that when you get to the victorious end of that said section, you're gonna screw up again because you didn't pay attention to the process. And we forget that. Sound like I'm preaching, but it's that section in the middle, man. I had to learn that so many times that I bumped my head every single time again, bump my head again, because I wasn't appreciating the middle. I was like, man, yeah, I'm starting this new thing, downslope. I'm not appreciating that valley where I'm getting that character.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so into, the ending. Oh man, success. Yes. Another win. Nope. As soon as I get to the top of that mountain, I didn't realize that top of that mountain, there was another mountain bottom right there, looking me right in the face, like, oh, you thought you was on the top? Hold on, brother. No, here you go, boom, back down another level. And I'm like, dang. So I always kept forgetting to take the tools that I had used to tighten up this, tighten up that, fix this. So when I got to those next levels, I had to redo it all over again because I didn't learn anything. Mm-hmm. And so many times we trudge through life and we don't learn anything. We complain. Mm-hmm. We do a lot of that. We complain about what we're going through, but we don't learn from the complaining or the bumps and the bruises. We don't learn from them. We just take them, bandage it, and I got that. But did you rip that band-aid off and say, well, what does that really mean? What's that going? What? Okay, all right, that's what I did. Okay, now I'm gonna let that heal. And when I get to my next set journey, we forget to do this. Pull that band-aid up and look at it again and say, oh yeah, I remember when I took that left when I was supposed to zig and I zagged, and that's why I got this. Okay, this time zag, don't zig. Oh man, I didn't get another bruise. Okay, so one step further. So you got to understand the assignment, man. You got to understand your purpose, and you got to seek it out, man. And that was what I know that my life has been exactly that. Really just going through the bumps and bruises, the trials and tribulations to achieve purpose, man. And I found it. I'm here talking to you, and I know this is part of my purpose, man. And it took somebody telling me, flat out not to my face, but virtually, man, that you arrogant. Excuse me? Arrogant? Yeah. You're arrogant and you're unprepared. So everything that you touch, until you let go of your arrogance, everything that you touch until you let go of your unpreparedness and actually prepare, you're gonna fail. Dang. And I was like, yeah, okay, all right, cool. You don't know me.
Yeah.
Didn't appreciate it because I wasn't mature enough. Again, was about to make that same where I didn't pull the band-aid up and check and see what I got on the last round of issues. So now here I am again. And I'm like, okay, I'm getting close to my purpose place. I'm doing these lives. I got people that I'm trying to get free by telling my story. And but I don't prepare for my life like I'm supposed to. I'm trying to do it off the dome, thinking that, that's how people will draw to me because I'm coming off the dome. I'm coming with some negativity, which, people draw to the negative stuff first before they talk. They want to jump on here and hear something positive. They ain't trying to hear that. They want to hear something about some drama. And as long as you got that, you got them hooked. Yeah. But when you start talking positivity, when you start talking about knocking down barriers, you see the numbers drop, and that discouraged me because I was like, oh, Ain't nobody watching my
Yeah.
stuff. It must not be good. I must not be doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
But then I had to realize, hey, they're gonna circle back because they're gonna need this. They're gonna
Yeah.
need it at some point because they're gonna grow to that place where I had to grow to, where even when it hurts, you gotta listen. Even when it's
Yeah.
good times, you still gotta listen. You still gotta take it, the good and the bad.
Yeah.
You gotta grill it up and you gotta eat it. It may taste like kibbles and bits, but baby, you better eat that thing.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, you're gonna play it
Yeah.
over again. And you're gonna be like, man, why am I not getting out of this rut in my life? Why am I not excelling? Why am I not this? Why am I not that? Well, because you didn't eat the dog food when it was proverbially the dog food that was supposed to
Hmm.
grow you up. You didn't eat it. You was like,
Yeah.
I'm too good for that. Slot, where's my filet mignon? No, you better go
Yeah.
ahead and get that. Better go ahead and get that hamburger helper. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And
Yeah.
I
For sure.
tell you, now, I hate hamburger helper. I'll fix it for my kids, but I hate hamburger helper. But you know
Yeah.
what? It was days that I didn't have hamburger helper, but I had what was it? Ramen noodles.
Yeah.
Couldn't afford the spaghetti noodles.
Yeah.
Ramen noodles, spaghetti.
Mm.
Try it. But you've been like, oh my god. But hey,
Yeah.
I had to. I had to get that because that was part of the process, and I had to understand that I got to go through this.
Yeah.
Period. And
Jeez.
wow, man, it's to be a dad with, oh, she's still there? Yep. Got a little one in here. She's 5. I got a 4. Got 11, 14.
Yeah.
Got another son. I mean, I got kids in this world that I'm like, man, I would have never thought I was gonna have children. I
Mm.
was too focused on me. But when I moved out of my own way,
Yeah.
that's when life started happening positively for me. That's when, marriage, bumps and bruises when, in my first marriage, because I was married before, did that. Oof, I don't think they're ready to hear how that one happened because mama and daddy were not pleased with that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but just out here doing renegade stuff and then finally just saying, man, one day just surrendering it all and saying, listen, I gotta let go of all this foolishness
Mhm.
because I got kids that's going to be watching me. I got people that are attached to me that are looking for a blueprint for success. And if I don't take my purpose serious enough, those people will never be free. They may get free, but they're not going to get free like how they would if I were to release what I've been through, my struggles, my
Mhm.
successes, and the path that I had to go down. They're not going to get free. They'll struggle and they'll always wonder why. And a lot of us don't even understand, people that are watching us right now, Jordan, they don't understand why they're
Yeah.
here. They just think, I'm supposed to be a daddy. I'm supposed to be a mommy. I'm supposed to be a sister, a brother. They don't understand that they have a divine assignment. And
Yeah.
I had to figure out, hey, man, I went through MIT training with the church I'm a part of for now and became a minister. And I thought I was supposed to be, I'm like, hey, if I'm a minister, I'm supposed to preach. No.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. I can. I probably could. My
Yeah.
pastor, my apostle, will tell you right now. Don't get. He always texts me. Don't get up there and preach now. Just read the verses and get out the way.
Yeah.
Probably could preach, but I knew that it was only a vehicle to get me to my purpose place, which is doing these lives,
Yeah.
talking to people, and helping people. Man, I'm right now. I'm going through a certification course for life coaching because I'm like, man, just like I text you the other day, man. People on the phone, man, they monopolizing my time on the phone for free. And I'm like, golly. I
Yeah.
say, Lord, is this what you want me to do? Because
Yeah.
boy, I'm getting wore out.
Yeah.
But I had to realize that I had to go through all my mess in my life to be
Mhm.
able to receive people where they're going to come to me
Mhm.
and not be judgmental or treat them in any way except, hey, this is where you are. I'm meeting you where you at. I'm not going to agree with your mess. I'm going to help you come up because you can't
Yeah.
stay here. This is what you're telling me you want to do. Well, you got to get rid of this. And having that thicker skin to where I understand sometimes people need that tough love because I got it. I just didn't
Mhm.
realize what it was at the time, but now I'm applying it. So
Yeah. That's dope,
it's
man.
crazy.
You gotta send me that link, man, for the life coach thing certificate you get, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. It's self-paced, man. I'm able to pick it up and put it down when I need to, but
Mm-hmm.
really good. The guy's been doing, life coaching over 20 plus years. And he's really making it make sense. And so when I have people reach out, I understand where to meet them. I understand how to guide them, but I also challenge people, man. I'm a
Yeah.
challenger. I don't like to lose. And I
Yeah.
use that same approach that I took in college where I learned how to be a winner. And my coach that was at Charleston Southern, one of my coaches, um, is the head coach of Oklahoma University. And I've never been a fan of Oklahoma, but I'm like, hey, anything in Oklahoma, I'm all for it because that's where my
Yeah.
coach is.
Yeah.
And he wasn't. His name's Tim Langford, and when he came in to Charleston Southern, he wouldn't. I think most of us were like 18, no, or about close to about 20, and he was like 25, 26 old. So we didn't give him his full respect because we felt like, hey, this dude a few years older than us. He like
Yeah.
right along with us. But to watch him grow, like wow, like man, if we would have probably taken him a little bit more serious, we probably would have been a little further down in our careers or whatever, the case may be. But man, just to watch, people excel to me, and I'm like, man, I just know eventually, you know, this us podcasting, us, talking positivity, just letting people tell that
Yeah.
stuff, it's going to turn into a platform that the people are going to want to tune into. This
Yeah.
your podcast, man. You always got somebody on, man, and you're bringing in homegrown people. You're not going to getting billionaire, trillionaires. You're getting people that have gotten it out of the mud, as we say,
Yeah.
and are successful now, and being able to tell because you know Mark, my cousin Mark Clayton, he got people attached to him. Probably I guarantee there's probably people that counted him out, that said he wasn't going to be anything.
Mm-hmm.
But now he's a business owner,
Yeah.
doing great things, and I don't think anybody's ever counted me out, but they probably said they didn't count me in either. They probably didn't count me in either. So for
Yeah.
me to be at this point where, because people ask me, they'll say, man, how you get on there and just do that? It took a while. It
Yeah.
took a while. It definitely did. But I said, I mean, if you go back a year, look at some of those videos, I was just talking, going. It's supposed to be 9 minutes for Nate. I'm 27 minutes in.
Yeah.
Looking crazy, just rambling. But those videos, they got likes, and I got excited because I'm like,
Yeah.
man, people are actually looking at what I'm saying. But then I was like, okay, but now you got to actually prepare. You actually got to do
Mm-hmm.
some research. You actually got to put some quality stuff out, because there's so many souls that just looking for the light, man, and they
Yeah.
walking around in this world dark. I manage about 100 people now at a plant here in Greenville, and I have to wear many hats. And a lot of times these people come to me with some of the craziest stuff, and you be like, oh my God, I am so blessed. I don't even
Yeah.
have to worry about walking into my home and not flipping his light switch. But at one point I did.
Yeah.
So I can identify with you, associate. Yeah, I understand that. They're like, really? You look at you, and I'm dressed well. I don't look, I don't talking, funny, crazy, how they say, but they're like, ain't no way you know about that. And I have to tell them, I'm like, man, there was a time where I had to steal power. And they'd be like,
Yeah.
no. They'd be like, Miss Nate, you cool. And I'm like, no, I'm just being real with you.
Yeah.
I was where you were, but I'm here to tell you, you stay the course. It ain't gonna always be like that. And they were like, man. And so one of, like, just case in point, I just call her Mary. The other day she moved out this abusive situation, got her new car, new address, got her 2 kids back, and she popped up to work today. I was like, what you doing here? She said, Miss Nate, I just had to come back to work because that energy you gave me the other day, that pushed me to get all this done. And I just didn't want to miss my moment with you coming by checking on me. I was like,
Yeah.
wow. I'm like,
Yeah.
man, my life means something. I'm not just here, to raise kids, be a husband, to just be a family member. I'm here to save some people, man.
Yeah.
And it ain't no glory to me. Thank you God for giving me the oratory gift to speak to anybody. I am somebody, I used to be afraid to work a room. Now Send me
Yeah.
in. Who you need me to talk to? What they look like?
I'm going to look it. Who
Yeah,
am I here for today? I
yeah.
feel you.
Who needs me today? I can work
Yeah.
a room. And you know, you
Yeah.
have in order to be what to do what we do, you better be able to work a room.
Yeah. Yeah.
You never know. You know, your podcast is everywhere. You never know who's gonna roll it to. Hey, you Jordan, you got that podcast, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. There's people, that people that are connected to me, they share my stuff, and I can go out of town. Yeah, I saw you live, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Excuse me. Who are you? But I'm like, yo, big ups. I'm
Yeah.
like, God is so big, man. Like he is
Yeah.
putting me on so many, in front of so many people. I'm just blessed, man. I can't
Yeah.
even I can't say enough about just the blessings of my life and how God has really put me in position to win. And
Yeah.
I just can't say enough, man. I can't. It's awesome. I can look
Yeah.
back over my life, post college, all the trials and tribulations, you know, getting into a situation where I thought I wasn't going to be able to see the light of day unless somebody let me, and being able to say, hey, God, if you get me out of this, I'll serve you to the day
Yeah.
I die, passing out, waking up in the hospital, paralyzed for 3.5 days, couldn't walk, was in the hospital right across the street from where I used to run, having the ray of sunshine shine in the room the day that I got released from custody, and they tell me, hey, all charges are dropped, everything's good. And the nurse
Yeah.
walking in there and said, oh, I knew that was going to happen. You're a good soul. Everything's good. Lady ain't never met me in a day in her life. Had only come in my room one time. Told me, she said, "Oh, I already knew whatever they said that you did. I already know that you didn't do it. One time, purpose-driven life. I knew I had one. I
Yeah.
just had to find my way. Just had to find my
You,
way, man.
you did that. Yeah, you're on the
Had
right
to,
track, brother.
had
Yeah.
to, man. Had to. These kids, my kids are showing athletic prowess and intelligence that's just like mind blowing. And I'm just like, I know now why I had to go through what I went through. But man, I
Hmm.
tell you one thing, man, I'm so thankful.
Yeah.
I'm thankful I don't look like what I've been through, man. Because most
Yeah.
people don't, bro. I promise you, if I went into detail, they'd be
Yeah.
like, that did not happen. I
Yeah. It happened. Yeah. Tell you, man. That's
promise
and
you.
I can relate to that. 'Cause people like, man, you're smiling going through. Dude, you gotta understand, like, first of all, my childhood alone wasn't normal. Let's just
Right,
throw that out there. It
right.
wasn't. It is what it is, and and I think my parents or my mom, my dad passed, I didn't
Mm-hmm.
understand why they moved me out of college and county. You know what I'm saying? That God took me. Dude, at 13, I got uprooted from my family.
Mm-hmm.
You know
Rough
what I'm
time.
saying? For 4 years. I didn't understand why.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, but is a like you said, is a purpose driven. It was bigger than what what I'm saying. I know. So people looking like when I come home, the people got stories to tell. They got questions about what happened, X, Y, Z. But now, like you said, you think about it. You think about everything you've been through, dude. Like it's a purpose driven. Like if I told you my story, like you said, some of the stuff wouldn't make sense to you.
Nope.
People like, man, how you left your home at 13? Well, it wasn't my choice, but my parents did what was best for me. And now look at me. I'm 37.
Look at that. That's when you know you're
Yeah.
old. That's when you know you're old right there. So you saw that? Did y'all see that? People that are watching right now, did you see that old moment? He just said, I'll tell you.
Listen.
Look, I have to ask mine all the time. How old am I again?
Yeah, it is what it is. But I'm just so grateful and thankful. Like you still smiling. Why would I not? Dude, you gotta understand everything that I've been through, everything I'm going through. Like I'm gonna be okay. I'm just excited about what the next chapter. And so yeah, man, like so when I see you doing your lives, I like 9 minutes with Nate. What Nate talking about today? Oh, that's a good message. And then like that live will pop up and I be, sometimes you scrolling social media, you're looking like, but let me go back see what Nate talking about today. And then next thing like, man, you know what? It wouldn't hurt for me to share this. And so my sister, she was looking like, that's Claude's son. I was like, yeah, that's Mr. Claude. That's Nate. Like, yeah, he's, this is him. And so I'm like, I'm real big about this part of the podcast where I would like to give you roses for one, being transparent with us, telling you, a lot of your story and like what you do. You know what I'm saying? Like you didn't have to go live. You can just be doing what you do in your local church, but God has given you a bigger platform to be able to reach those now local community from back home, people from, you know what I'm saying, the people you went to college with, like different career moves you know made, and you just inspiring them. Like you said, the lady at work, you know what I'm saying, she's, you know, going through abusive situations, but she's like, your words, she can hang her, you know what I'm saying, her peace and her mentality, or you know what I'm saying, her things she's going through, it's a lot easier because she knows she got you. You know what I'm saying? Even though she works for you, but at the same time, she know she can rely on you. Your words really mean a lot. So I personally, man, want to thank you for what you're doing, man. Continue doing it. I'm gonna continue sharing it. You know what I'm saying? We've been, like I said, we've been linking up for, you know, communicating by linking up with each other, podcasts and lives. So I praise God for allowing it to happen. Man, I'm telling you, dude, I'm proud of you, man. I am so proud of you. Cause like I said, it's different if like I said, we get these people that are you know doing being successful, doing other things, but dude, we grew up together. You know what I'm saying? Like we were, you know, we knew each other since we were little boys.
Little
You know,
boy.
so look at us
Yep.
now. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, dude, I'm so grateful, man. Your story, man. Just, I'm gonna be chewing this for a minute because, like I said, that's
Yeah,
what I like
man.
about it. I learned stuff about people we bring on. Like, isn't this great to know? You know what I'm saying? Like, you thought it was over for you. The enemy lied to you and said it was. You
Yeah.
went to church, you know what I'm saying? That concert, like, you know what I'm saying? You went there wanting to praise God. Your life ain't been the same since. And,
Yeah.
and then not only has God blessed you, you had to play a major role because you had to have the faith. You could have
That's
stopped
it.
a long time ago, but you're
Oh
continuing
yeah.
to, you know what I'm saying? Like, you are continuing to allowing God and others to pour into you.
Yep.
So I like I said, I'm excited, man. I know this podcast thing is what we're doing now. Like, you know, I'm just amazing. To, you know, saying if the place you'll go, man, call me like, yo, I gotta go speak in such and such. I'm there. Like I'll carry your Bible in along with your sweat rag. You know what I'm saying?
Catch the coat.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah. I got
listen.
you, man. Hey,
That's
I'll
funny
hold
you
your
say that,
I'll hold your
man.
suit jacket. Yeah, man.
Hey,
I can do.
listen, I
Yeah,
have said that to so many. I'm like, man, I am so in awe of what you're doing, man. If
yeah,
you need me to carry your bag, I'm there. And I am authentically there for you. Hey, when you
yeah,
come to the crowd, I'm moving. Oh, excuse me,
yeah.
excuse us.
Excuse me.
But
Yeah,
that servitude, like in order to lead, you got to know how to serve first.
yeah,
And people forget that. You know, they want to be in the lights. They want to be noticed and notoriety. You better know how to
yeah,
serve. If you
yeah.
don't know how to serve, you'll never lead. You'll
No.
never lead, and people won't follow you. I had to
Mm-mm.
learn that. I had to learn it in my marriage. I had to learn that as a
Excuse
boss.
me.
You know, I had to learn how to lead the people.
Yeah,
I have a mentor, Jay Williams. He taught me. He said, "Man, lead, don't pull. When you start pulling, you tear.
yeah,
You don't want to tear nobody, but you want to guide them to where they need to go. And yeah, you got to put a little force behind it, man. But at the end of all of it, when you see their success and you see that smile that was
yeah,
once a frown and that confusion that's now a bright, clear vision, and they're saying, "Hey, it's all because of you." I'm like, "No, it's because of God. He gave me you as a project, and you clearly were supposed to be connected to me to
yeah,
get to where you are now." What an amazing thing! What an
yeah. It is,
amazing
man.
thing, man! It
Yeah,
is, man. I appreciate the flowers, man. I remember us growing up, man. I used to think, I was like, man, me and Jordan are cousins, and I'm pretty sure somewhere in that big Walterboro ball of people, we are related
yeah,
somewhere because everybody from Walterboro is related.
yeah,
I don't care what if you're dating in Walterboro right now. If you're watching this live, you better check that lineage chart. I'm trying to tell you, you better check it because your grandma, cousin, uncle, somebody,
yeah,
grandma is
yeah.
cousins with somebody on the other side of that family. You better check. I'm trying to tell you because we're related. Do
Yeah,
not date in your hometown. That's a
yeah.
no-no. Um, just being honest, you better not do it. You'll find out when you get to the engagement party, they're gonna be like, "Hey, Sue, cousin, hey."
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, we got a problem.
yeah. A
But
big
yeah,
problem.
man, big one,
Yeah.
man. But
Before you go, man, anybody want to say
yeah.
thank you to, man? Anybody want to
Oh,
shout out before we hang up?
first and foremost, you, man. Thank you for the podcast platform, man. This podcast is definitely giving me an opportunity to come out and speak more than I speak
Yeah,
on my lives. I also want to say thank you to my family, my wife Tiffany, my children. They put up with me kicking them out the room. When I
yeah,
have to record, they don't like it, but they understand it. My mom, everybody that's connected to me, that's even shared. Even if you've just shared it one time, thank you. But I
yeah.
also want to say, follow me on YouTube, follow me
Mm-hmm.
on Facebook. I got the 9 minutes. It's just real simple, 9 minutes with Nate. And then here in a little bit, we'll be launching on Patreon, man. That's gonna be the move, man. That's
Yeah.
really going where we're gonna get intimate. We're gonna talk about some things and be able to talk in a platform where it's safe. And we're gonna invite you on, and we're gonna flip it, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
be sitting on that side, and you're gonna be on this side, and you're gonna display
Yeah.
yourself to the world,
Yeah.
man. Because it's a reintroduction of you, man, and that's all
Yeah.
this is. Now we're grown, we had our
Yeah.
identities then, but now this is who we are. This is what we're doing.
Yeah.
So thank you to everyone that's watched, everyone that's commented in the section, because we got a lot of comments, Jordan. You have to go back and check that stuff. We got some comments, brother. Thank y'all so much, man, and thank you for
Yeah.
having me, carving out this time. I really appreciate it. I definitely
No
do.
problem, no, man. I look forward to, saying this is a journey that me and you just got on. 'Cause like I said, so we were just messenger every once in a while, check up on one another. But as time has progressed, we've started to communicate more. So I'm just excited to see where this thing takes us, man. So anytime you need me, I'm here. Like I say, you guys go to YouTube, 9 Minutes to Nate Facebook page, man. If you need a positive word, I don't care what, because he does it on Thursdays at 5. We come on at
Mm-hmm.
8 o'clock. Matter of fact,
Yep.
my sister calling me now. She probably want to say something about the podcast. But I call her back later. But yeah, man, like, and I appreciate everything you're doing, man. I look forward to more doors opening for you. I
Thank you.
celebrate you now. I'm celebrating you then. I love you, brother. Continue doing what
I
you're
love
doing.
you, man. I appreciate you so much. Y'all be blessed, man. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to us, man. I thank y'all. And Jordan, I love you, man. If you need me, reach out, brother. I appreciate you, man.
I sure will, man.
All right, man. I'll see you.
All right.